And as y'all see, these babies right here are loaded also. Look at that. Man, loaded up. This is a very beautiful groove also.
Satsuma market wants smaller fruit, so back off on the water. I mean, like even as dry as it was in September, which you're not carrying much crop. Hour a day, 45 minutes, 1 hour a day, 20. Even with full wood, huh?
Every day though?
Yeah. Try to irrigate in like mid-morning. So you get a good dry down. It doesn't unnecessarily make things wet at night. So those emitters, that's 12 gallons an hour. This is 183 per acre. Really demand is on 12 gallons an hour emitter.
Just tell me what you read about it.
So I bought on a packing house in Tifton, and what we're packing out is going to all the major grocery chains. The majority of it is. Now there's some larger fruit seconds. That's a really smaller market. There's not a huge market for that. Like that fruit you see on that tree right there, that's not fixing to go to any grocery store in this country. We can all say we can feel it, we need it, and it don't taste too bad, but that don't matter. We're living in God. You know, we just have to understand that in hurries because you're gonna have a lot of fruit like that. And it's gonna take up your time, it's gonna take up your energies, your money, but it's just not much fire for that. So we want like under 3 smaller, even better. Think what cubics look like. That's what they're for. And that's what the buyers want. It's got to be good color, and it's got to be right. It's got to be small, and they want it. Most of it's in 2-pound cello bags. So you know, do we sell other stuff? Yeah, we do, but that's the main thing. That's where the best money is. In a big year like last year, just you run up against the wall. It's a short window. All the crop comes in, and large fruit. I'm not saying there's not a market for it, but they in the market for all of it at the same time. That's what they're running into. But now, as far as good sized fruit, well, that's right. If you move a bunch of it, it's a good market for it. But you're not going to get all of your crop to get there. But that is what you need to keep in mind. So it goes back to the question of watering. I don't, I'm not trying to water for size, which is backwards from other crops. I mean, pecans, I need size. Peaches, I want size. But here, I'm trying to get them even and smaller. So I think part of that is going to be back off on the water some. You know, just something to note. Across the road, I moved some trees. We did some replanting, transplanting some trees, maybe 100 or so. I wish it was still there and already picked it. But the trees that I hedged them back, transplanted with 44-inch spade, 40-inch spade with skid steer. So most of the root system was removed. Those trees had a beautiful crop, had a beautiful bloom, and everything around them doesn't. Just the ones that were transplanted, and all of that fruit was small. And I bet you all of those trees probably 90+% pack out, built some celery buds. And that's just a small sample. That what you said that's because you stress that tree. Now, you can't stress it like that every single year. I mean, I can't go pick it up, set it back down every year to do this. I mean, it might die. I don't know yet, but it is something interesting to see. When you stress a tree like that, it's the one that set the bloom, and it's the one that had the. So it's got my mind thinking, what about gardening? You know, what about some type of a mechanism to stress the trees to make that you can make that tree more bloom heavier, which is going to give you a smaller set on fruit. Girdling's just something I mentioned. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I haven't done it personally, but it is a thought. I've also thought maybe a root pruning. I don't know. It's just something that I noted on. I used to have 1 acre of cashews across the road, and they're gone. That freeze did them pretty bad, and probably lost like 20% of them to the freeze. it killed some, and then the others half the tree, and it was just kind of a dilapidated tree. But what really got the key issues for me is they cost too much to pick. It's the cost of harvest, although you can retrieve a higher price in the market, and it is a specialty market. They cost more to pick, they cost more to pack. And your net income at the end is not, if it's any better, it's not much better than a good crop of satsuma. So that's just too much liability to go forward with that. I mean, it's a great little piece of fruit. There's a little niche market for it, but just I didn't feel encouraged to go play in that. But I had enough of them.
So when y'all pick, you mentioned a pack house. What do y'all do? You wash, wax? What is that process?
Yeah, so it's wash, wax, sorted by color, weight, size.
As a commercial guy, are you looking at today, tomorrow, next year? Are you trying to figure out the next biggest thing? Sugar Bell, obviously.
I didn't like it, but also, in addition to, they were a minority here, and they were making satsuma seeded, and I don't mean just run all over, like 350, 400 feet over, you're still getting it. That's not in the literature, but if you didn't know that, write it down, 'cause it's gonna happen. But maybe there's a year it don't happen, but I know that 2 out of 3 for sure it did, so that was enough for me. But on top of that, their production, beautiful, like they're getting some beautiful fruit, but the volume just wasn't there. You asked a question, what am I thinking going forward? Well, I don't know. Oh, when I kind of jumped into this, took the chance on it, I think it's doable, but you've got to have a defined market where you're going to go with it. To think that we're going to pick them and find somewhere to go, that's tough. It's tough enough when you do have somewhere to go. So I'm not saying it's not feasible, but you really got to have your home market and somebody ready to take it, a way to get it there. It's a volume, 30, 40,000 pounds per acre. I mean, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of hustling. You got to have things lined up. You better have beers, you better have a way to move it, you better have a labor force. It's not as easy. I think that maybe some people are encouraged by the quick trees they have in the yard, but underestimate what it takes. When you put 180 per acre, you got a full problem, so they're not doing this. So you really got to contemplate what is your marketing plan. We can grow beautiful fruit and then got a fire. We've been better off picking up cans out of the ditch.
Mentioned you regret taking up the grapefruit. The market.
I think grapefruit market's pretty strong.
Yeah.
It is. It's
What variety do you have?
I had Groovies and Flames. I never got the crop on it. Too impatient. One freeze and got me sick and did away with it. Now if I'd have had more than that, maybe if I hadn't had the sugar bill problem right then, just grapefruit, I think I'd have been a little more patient. But I was already really mad about the sugar bill. It was right next to it, and they're looking a little bit questionable, and I was over aggressive.
Just wanted to do something tried and true.
Yeah. But and my fear was, well, maybe I could nurse these trees back, but are we gonna get to year 6, 7, 8, get another freeze like that, and you lose all that canopy again, and it just goes back. For 8 acres, do I really want to stress myself out about this? But now looking back at it, and the grapefruit trees, I transplant them with a 90-inch spade reversal, and I just put them back behind the house, and they don't get anything done to them. They're lucky if they get 1 or 2 sprays a year. You forget about it. They don't have no cold protection or anything. They're loaded into you. And they're beautiful. Now, it's a small spectrum, but it is common food. So, there could have been a greater color over this picture for me. Could have put some patience for me.
Trying to get that size of the consumer.
I've been patient with them. The sugar bills have to go because they're making satsuma seeded. Grapefruit, I regret taking them up to the left and go, nurse them back, replace what did heal. But, so I just set it back to satsumas because I just didn't want to argue about 16 acre, whatever things in there. So where you're standing now, these are planted at 21.
Beautiful citrus grew.
I have backed off my nitrogen rates on these from where initially I was. I just came to the conclusion it's just not taking that much nitrogen. So these are down to about 75 units of nitrogen all season long. Now, this is a terrible crop. Most offset seeds are in here.